All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. We'll talk about Kyler Murray, praising Marvin Harrison Jr. Just wanted to get into that and give you my thoughts on it. So this is what he had to say about their rookie wide receiver. So he said, I think that takes us to another level. When you got a guy out there that is capable of winning one-on-ones, obviously he's got to go do it. He knows that. We all know it. But as far as manipulating coverage and stuff like that, you got a guy out there that can do that. And even if he's not open, he's open. I'm excited to be able to build that with him. But when he does what he does, yeah, I fully expect our offense to be top of the league. So that really is high praise there. Also, a quote from Marvin Harrison Jr. He said, I didn't want to come in with a big head. I knew I had to earn everything, so just simple things like that. Let them go in front as they rightfully deserve, and then they kind of allow me to go in front now because they understand what I can bring to the team. And a second-year cornerback, Garrett Williams, he described Harrison as special. You look at his height, and then you look at his movement ability. Those two things usually don't match up like that. So for him to do it and make everything look so easily, the ball tracking ability, he's everything people said he is. So yeah, a lot of praise for the rookie wide receiver. A little tongue twister there. Rookie wide receiver. And yeah, I mean, I think that was the right pick for the Cardinals when they made that selection. They have other needs at different positions, but they needed a playmaker. And, they do have some playmakers on that offense already, like Trey McBride, their young tight end. I mean, he played really well last year. You still got James Conner there. They did draft a running back as well. But they kind of needed that number one wide receiver in this offense. And they were committed to Kyler Murray. They felt like Kyler Murray is still their guy. I mean, Jonathan Gannon talked about it. The social media team, they posted something that said our franchise quarterback. So they believed in Kyler Murray. He was going to be the guy. The Cardinals were not going to hit the reset button and draft a quarterback because they probably could have did that. Now, the top three options would have been off the board. So, but we don't have to worry about that. They're committed to Kyler Murray. He's the guy. And, I thought he played well, when he came back from his injury. Now, he's going to be a year removed from that injury, so, or another year removed from that injury. And now he's going to be playing a full year. So that combined with now you have a number one wide receiver who's arguably the best wide receiver in the draft between him and Malik Neighbors. Yeah, I mean, we could see something similar to what we saw with Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins because that's why the Cardinals went out and they got DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans. I mean, I guess, Bill O'Brien basically gave him away, for David Johnson. And David Johnson, his best years were behind him. He was far removed from that 2016 David Johnson that we saw. I mean, injuries kind of played a role in that. But, yeah, that was a lopsided trade. And DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, they did well together. So they're kind of hoping that the Cardinals are kind of hoping that they could recapture that and get back to that. And yeah, maybe they win, some more games because of it. I still didn't have the Cardinals winning a ton of games this year. But there are people out there that think the Cardinals have a chance to, be a sneaky good team, maybe be a team that fights for a wild card spot. And maybe they do. Maybe with Kyler Murray being healthy and they got this, elite weapon at wide receiver, and some of the other guys like I mentioned before, maybe the offense is pretty good. I think it can be. I think you got to see how the defense is as well, but only time will tell. They play in a tough division. You got the 49ers and the Rams at the top. The Seahawks, you're probably going to be fighting with the Seahawks for that, for third place or and last place. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the Cardinals. I don't really know what to expect. Last year they did win games that maybe they shouldn't have won, or you didn't think they were going to win. Like they won their first start Kyler Murray won his first start against the Falcons. The Falcons were a team that was trying to make the playoffs. maybe the Falcons could have won that game, but they didn't. Cardinals won it with Kyler. They won in Philly. Got to give him credit there as well. The Eagles were up big in that game, and the Cardinals came back and won it. So we'll have to wait and see. But this could be a good connection that we see throughout the season. Is these two guys, and what kind of season is Marvin Harrison Jr. going to have? And he's a guy that like Kyler said is going to be the one that goes up and get those 50-50 balls. There's got to be a trust factor there. And I think there will be throughout the year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they could do together. What kind of success are they going to have? But I don't expect the Cardinals to be this great team. But Kyler was talking about this offense being one of the best. And I think that's a little strong of a take. But but then again, it's like, what do you want him to say? You want him to be like, no, I think we're not going to be good. We're going to stink. No, he's not going to say that. But I think with the healthy Kyler Murray and you add this dynamic playmaker to your offense, I think the offense should be pretty good. But it's I don't think they're gonna win a lot of games. But I could be wrong. Because I did go through their schedule. Who did they start with? Oh, they start against the Bills. That's right, they do start against the Bills. So that's that game I feel like could go. I said I think it could go either way. But I think because the Bills are at home, I said they'd win. So yeah, they got the Bills and they got the Rams, Lions, Commanders, 49ers, Packers, Chargers, Dolphins, Bears, Jets, Seahawks, Vikings, Seahawks again, Patriots, Panthers, Rams, and then the 49ers to close out the year. Yeah, and they went 4-13 last year. I think I said that they'd probably finish around the same record, maybe get another win or two, maybe. But I don't know. And they did make the playoffs when the Rams won the Super Bowl a few years ago. But yeah, they did lose a lot of veteran guys since then. Kyler got hurt, of course. So that's part of the reason why they finished with that bad record. But we'll see how it goes. Could they surprise some people? I think so. They won games. With Josh Dobbs last year. They beat the Cowboys at home. That was a game that they should have, lost, but they didn't. With Kyler for a full year, let's see how they are. And like I said, I think taking Marvin Harrison Jr., that was the right pick, I think, because they were looking for that other playmaker for the team. And, they got it in him, and they're trying to recapture the years with DeAndre Hopkins. So, looking forward to seeing what the Cardinals can do. Maybe they surprise some people, So, but that's my thoughts on it. So, let me know what you guys think. What kind of season do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have with Kyler Murray? I think they're going to do well together. Kyler's another year removed from the injury. And, the Cardinals have confidence in him. And, I know some people had some questions about, his leadership and his maturity and things like that. But I think, having to overcome adversity with this injury, I think he's got a different mindset. So, we'll see how he does. But, that's really my thoughts on that. So, that's pretty much it for the show for today. Got a few more minutes here. But, we're approaching the month of July. So, we are a little over a month, about a month and a week before the Hall of Fame game between the Bears and the Texans. So, football is around the corner. And it's scary because, how many times have I brought up just time going very fast? But it's going to be here. And, with baseball in full swing, my Yankees are kind of struggling a little bit. So I'm kind of, peering over, like, oh, yeah, football's coming up soon. No, not really. But, yeah, I mean, you got baseball going on. Actually, the Stanley Cup, we got a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup tonight. Can you believe that? I thought it was going to be, you thought it'd be a sweep. But no, we got a Game 7 tonight. So that's big. So make sure to, check that out. Tune into Garrison's show. Actually, I think he goes live during it. So that is interesting. But yeah, so Game 7 with that. Baseball's in full swing. So make sure to check out all the other shows, of course. Not just hockey and baseball, but everything else. Basketball, WNBA is still going on. Soccer, of course. There's a lot going on still. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just talking about off-season stuff. But before you know it, we'll be talking about games, and I can't wait for that. So, but yeah, make sure to check out all the other shows. Like I said, everybody's been doing a good job. And, yeah, so that's pretty much it from me for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, of course, same time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And, yeah, of course, until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and like I said, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.